Hi, Kiara. So this process of um, completing the square to put a parabolic function in standard form is a little bit involved. So I thought I'd make a little video. So here's a parabolic equation in the form that it will often come in. Just so you know, it's your standard a times x squared minus b or plus b times x plus c. And the form that's really handy to have it in is something more like this. You want it to be have some letter here. Actually, it's the same a. You want that, and x minus h, some number h, plus k. Oh, and this is squared, right? So, because what this does is it has a couple of features in it that are really helpful in figuring out what your parabola is going to look like. For example, it's not just the x being squared anymore; it's this x minus h being squared. So this kind of acts as like a horizontal slide for figuring out where the vertex of the parabola is going to be. So if you've got, here's your parabola, and so if there's nothing here, if that's 0, your parabola is going to have its vertex right on the y-axis. But if this gets bigger, then this is going to move over this way, and if that gets smaller, then this is going to move over this way. The k here acts as a kind of elevator, because if that gets bigger, you can see that the y is going to get bigger, because that's just getting added on at the end. So if this is a 0, then then it's going to the vertex here is going to be right down here. But if it's, say, 1, then the vertex is going to be up here at 1, and so on. And then there's also this factor here, which makes it stretch. If you make that bigger, it stretches it this way, and if you make it smaller, like if you make it a fraction, it squeezes it down this way. So very handy to have it like that. But how do we get it like that? So we start with this. First thing you have to do is factor out the coefficient that's in front of the x squared term. So how do you do that? You go y2 and then parentheses x squared minus 6x, right? And then this c term just still hangs out over here. So it's already looking closer to that. It's like you've got these parentheses, but still the square is out here and it's in here over here. So you got to get that out there somehow. So here's what you do, and here's the kind of mysterious, difficult part. You go y equals 2, and then we're going to make a double set of parentheses here. And you go just x, not x squared, but just x minus half of this coefficient. So you put a 3 there, and that's what you square now. And you put the plus 13 still over here. Now I left this space here for a reason, because you can see if you actually square this, so let's go down here for a second. If you actually square it, you've got x minus 3 times x minus 3, and that equals x squared. Let's go with outer. X times negative 3 is negative 3x, plus another negative 3x, so that's minus 6x, and that's how we got, see this 6x here came from here, and that's how we knew to use half of that 6 to make the negative 3 here. Half of negative 6 is negative 3, because there's going to be 2 of them. But now we're not done, because we still have to multiply together these two terms to get this positive 9 over here, right? And that's just sort of a byproduct. And so this has replaced this, but this has a value that is 9 more than this. And we can't do that. We can't just add on 9 without taking it back off or adding it onto the other side or something like that to make it still be an equation. So this is worth 9 more than this. So what we're going to do is go minus 9. Now it's equal again. Now we're good. Okay. Oh, except that this this 9 is still in this outer set of parentheses because it came from this little thing that we did here. So next step is we're gonna multiply the 2 by the negative 9 to get that outside. So y equals 2 is still going to be multiplied by the x minus 3 squared, but we're going to multiply the 2 times the negative 9, so negative 18. So now that's outside, and we only have one set of parentheses. And the plus 13 is still over here. So now let's take care of this. Y equals 2x, parentheses, 2. Negative 18 plus 13 is negative 5. So now it's in this form. We have this a, which is always going to be the same a that you start with. Remember the a times x squared minus b and c. That a is going to be the same thing. That's why we use the same letter. The h, which tells us where it is horizontally, is a 3. So that means that the vertex is going to be over here at 1, 2, 3. It's going to be along this line somewhere. And the vertical elevator button here is negative 5. So that subtracts 5 from everything. If you didn't have that, then the lowest point would be 0. But you subtract 5 from everything, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5. So the vertex is going to be down here. Now, we still don't know if it's going to go like this or if it's going to go like this. And if you know, like, if a standard parabola is just your most basic parabola you can have, if you graph that out, you'll see that it has a vertex of 0 and it just goes like that. And that's what happens when this is positive. If this is negative, then it's going to go like that. Everything's the same except it's the negative version of the same thing. And so since this coefficient over here is positive, it's going to be this kind that opens upward. If that was negative, then it would be that. So that's how you do it. So here, now that you've seen that, and I know it's sort of an involved process, but here's another one to try. I don't know if it's dark enough. I'm going to rewrite it. So it's y equals negative 3x squared plus 6x minus 2. So see how you do. Good luck. Have fun.